All right, adventurers, welcome to ADV in Japan. So today we're going to be doing some improvements to the air intake on the KTM 390. I purchased the Unifilter pre-filter for the KTM 1250. I know it's not designed for this, but it certainly will work with a few modifications. Now, I'm not taking credit for this, as I have seen other people do this. There's another modification that I'm going to do to the air intake that will hopefully improve some of the airflow issues and also create a little bit more extra room back here underneath the seat. So I've seen that in other videos as well too. So I'm going to combine both of those into one video and show you how you guys can improve the air intake and at the same time maybe increase your space back here and what's going on. Plus you guys get to see some kind of cool Japanese stuff that they got going on in here too. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we have to get access to the air intake, and the air intake is underneath this tray. Yes, this is simply just a tray. It actually does not have to be here. All it's serving as is a place for you to store maybe your insurance documents or maybe your KTM tool bag, which I think is totally not enough. You guys should be riding something like this, something a little bit larger that has more tools in it, especially if you're going off-road. I definitely recommend that. I will be doing a video on the tools that I carry later. I'm not going to do it now just because I'm still kind of curating my set here. Once I got it where I like it, then I will go ahead and do a video on that as well. In any case, we need to take this tray off and get access to the air intake. Once we get access to the air intake, we're going to go ahead and pull the battery out, and then we're going to pop the air intake out, the tube. We're going to lop it off and then stick in the pre-filter. Put the pre-filter in, then go ahead and zip tie it down and throw the air intake back in. And we'll go ahead and just leave this off and I'll explain why. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the tools and parts you're gonna need for this install. All right, ladies and gents, not a very difficult install here. You're gonna need to take out the Allen bolts. You're gonna need two different size Allen wrenches. You need a size 4 and a size 6. This will get you done for everything. To lop off part of the air intake, you can use a hacksaw or jigsaw, whatever you've got on hand. You're going to need your Unifilter. You can order this online. I got mine from Japan. It took quite a while to get here. It took almost a month to get here, and I think that was more because of the store. It just was really slow on the shipping. In any case, here is the part number. You can order that. They're pretty cheap. I got, they come in 2 in a pack. And these things, as you know, they'll last literally forever. They're super, super low maintenance. You just clean them out, re-oil them, and throw them back in, and you're good to go. Hey guys, I just thought I'd add this in real quick. So when you clean the air filter, you're gonna have to re-oil it, and it's good to get some actual dedicated air filter oil. This can be purchased on Amazon in Japan. Yeah, definitely get your hands on some K&N air filter oil to help with the maintenance for the Unifilter. Next, in order to attach the pre-filter, you're going to need some zip ties. You can get a large one large one, or like me, you can just combine 3 small ones. That's all I have on hand right now at the moment. And these are pre-lubed. They're already oiled and everything, ready to go. So you'll just need some gloves like this, or you know, whatever. If you're using your install gloves, those work too as well. This will get you done. So let's go ahead and get into the tear down here, and I'll show you kind of how to get this ready to go. Okay, so first things first, we need to take out this tray. And there are a couple things that are attached to the tray and a little finicky things here and there that we'll go ahead and go into first. So to get the tray off, you got 3 bolts. You've got this back Allen bolt, and you've got these 2 Allen bolts that hold in the rear seat, passenger seat. So first things first though, we need to get some stuff out of the way here. So in Japan, most of you, some of you, will have an ETC in your bike. The ETC, for those of you who do not know, is the highway toll system. So it's pretty cool. You basically, you know, they basically just pop this card in here, and you can just go straight through the toll without having to drop cash in or stop or anything like that. You just go right straight through. So it's really nice. But anyways, this has got to come out of the way so you don't damage it. So I'm just going to move that out of the way there. The next thing too is you've got I believe it's the spare filters here, or spare filters, the spare fuses. So you'll need to pop this out. I just used this Allen wrench and just kind of, you know, got inside here and just pop that out like that, and that should do the job right there. And then you've got another red little fuse here. I'm not sure what that's for. Somebody could probably tell me in the comments. In any case, you can push this through this hole back here. So it is out of the way. Now we're ready to go ahead and remove this tray. So go ahead and get your size 4 Allen wrench here. For these larger ones, you're gonna need a size 6. Okay, so now we're ready to remove the tray here, and one thing to keep in mind, I don't know if you guys have this on yours, but I have had this little extra fuse box zip tied to the actual fuse box for the bike, and it causes a little bit of trouble in trying to get this tray out. So just be careful getting this thing out. You don't want to bust anything, break anything. I just kind of get my Allen in there, push it around, and once you get one of these lips out, then it all just kind of comes out real nice and easy. So that's it. There is really no functional purpose for this other than to let you know where the fuses are. If you're really worried about that, certainly you can take a picture of this, keep it in your phone. Alternatively, you could peel this off and tape it onto the fuse, the rubber fuse box there, or somewhere on the bike. Good, so let's go ahead and move that out of the way. Okay, so we've got our open space here. We have now revealed the air intake. Now you can kind of see what the problem is with this air intake. You can see that essentially the air intake, all the air that is going into the bike needs to find its way around these small tiny areas into here and then into the engine, and that's not a whole lot. And when you have that tray on there, it gets even tighter. So this gets all sealed off. I mean, it's really got to find its way in. The air has to find its way in there and try to get into the engine. So what I've seen people do to solve that is to take that tray out, leave it out, and you're good to go. Now, if you want to go with a pre-filter and you want to keep your existing filter in the bike much cleaner and last longer, then what you're going to have to do is pull this intake out, and we're going to just lop it right off right there. Now, to take this thing off, there's only one Allen bolt right down here, so let's go ahead and remove that. With the videos that I've seen online, people say that you can take this out as is. I can't. This thing will not come out. So what I recommend is removing this metal bar here and then taking the battery out. It's just 2 extra screws. It's going to remove everything. It's going to make sure that when you do put the intake back in, that it goes in the proper place and it's sealed off and it's providing sealed airflow into the engine. Okay, so it's very simple removal here. I got my 12-volt little connector here, which I didn't know I had, which is really cool. And to remove the battery, I'm not sure if you guys have these extra little rubber straps here, but basically just remove those rubber straps and then the battery will come right out. You could remove the whole thing if you want. I'm just gonna leave it in a spot where it'll be all right. By the way, the bike is off. It's totally off, so we should be good to go. So good. So this is the battery, kind of where it sits. And then you can see this is the intake right here. And you can see this is where the intake goes into. Now, good luck trying to get that out without taking the battery out. So I don't know how they did it, but yeah, anyways, it works better for me. I feel more safe knowing that, you know, when I put this back in, that it's gonna go right in where it needs to go and it's gonna seal everything off really nice and good. In any case, let's go ahead and lop this off right here. and put that pre-filter in, and then put everything back together, and we should be good to go. Let's actually see what this sounds like without the air intake in. It's a little beefier, but not much, probably not even noticeable in my opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead and lop this sucker off. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a good file down. Okay, this looks good. Let's go ahead and put in the pre-filter. Now the way this goes in is you literally just shove it down inside as far as it'll go. And then you're gonna take the end of it here, just bump it around like that. Pull it out just a little bit. Yeah, that's looking good. Great. Now this is gonna provide just a little bit of extra filtration here for the bike. So those of you guys going off-road with the KTM 390, definitely recommend putting something like this on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these zip ties on here. All right, clip those off and then we'll throw her back in. Okay, so it's ready to go back in. Just make sure again, everything is out of the way. All right, it's in. And your Allen bolt in here. Good. So now that we got the filter in, we need to make sure that it is inside where it needs to be. Yep, we're good. We've got a good seal there. Now we can go ahead and put the battery back in. All right, it's looking good. Okay, now we can go ahead and get this metal bar back on. Okay, so next we'll go ahead and put in this back screw here, so just so it doesn't get lost. It doesn't have to be on here, but I just don't want it to be lost in case I want to put everything back in. Maybe perhaps if I ever sell the bike. And of course we also need to put in these back seat screws, otherwise the seat won't go in properly. Give that a good tug. All right, you guys, we're finished. So I went ahead and actually pulled this sticker off. It was actually pretty easy to remove. Put some double-sided tape on it and then stuck it to the actual fuse box here. Make sure that it's going in the proper direction here so you know what fuse is what. All right, you guys, so we've done two really important things by doing this upgrade. The first is we've increased the area back here, which is nice. If you're using the KTM OEM tool pouch, you could probably fit some more tools back here, which more tools is better. Or just, you know, whatever you want. You've got extra space back here. It's not all crunched like it used to be. The other thing we've done, obviously, is we've improved the air intake here in two ways, both qualitatively and quantitatively. Quantitatively in that by removing that tray, we have allowed more air to get in here. It's just less restricted in that way. Qualitatively in that we've got this pre-filter on here, so the air that is going into the engine is getting filtered twice, which is really good for the engine, number one, and number two, it's also going to extend the lifespan of the OEM air filter here in that we've got it being pre-filtered, right? So that's great for you, those of you who do not have access to these filters. It took me 2 weeks to get my new filter, and it cost a ridiculous amount of money, a lot more than it should have for shipping and all that stuff. So by doing this pre-filter, it should increase the lifespan of that filter. Won't have to do it as often as I had before. All right, folks, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it helpful, because that's really the whole purpose. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I definitely want to hit that 1,000. It's going to bump my videos up, and it's just going to help that many more people. And that's what this is all about, folks. All right, this is ADV in Japan, out.